So as usual, I'm thinking about qualities of self-love. And one of the things that's been coming up for me quite a bit in the last, a few months actually, but particularly in the last couple of days, is what happens to us when we feel hurt. And we feel like we've been let down, and we feel like we've been slighted, or we've been rejected, or whatever emotional piece might arise as a result of the experience. And inevitably, it's about an expectation that wasn't realized at one level. And it's also, so I'll say that again, it's about an expectation that wasn't realized. So perhaps we have unrealistic expectations on another to fill the empty spaces in us that it's not their responsibility to fill, actually. But when they don't fill them, we feel hurt, we feel angry, and we feel let down, and we feel rejected, abandoned, hurt, whatever emotional picture might arise for you. And in those places, it's really always, and I really mean always, an opportunity to not blame and shame out there, because that's the human tendency. Let's blame whoever, whatever the circumstances are, but actually come back to us. So it might be that we're feeling rage. I mean, this morning I felt huge amounts of rage, and I had to just sit with the rage and shake it out my body and just feel my way into it, because otherwise it was just going to take me over. And when you reconnect with your body and you feel where it was holding in your body, and you literally find different practices. This morning for me it was shaking and dancing to really loud music, and really feeling like I can just let all of this go. The rage, then the energy of the rage, because rage is an energy, of course, was able to move and didn't stay stuck inside me. And that helped then to change the feeling inside me, actually. So after I, really madly danced and shaken and kind of, really felt like screamed as well. I screamed with it too, just to really, on all levels, get it out of my physical, energetic body. I was able to go, okay, now I can sit with what's underneath it. Because when the feeling gets too strong, you can't go underneath. So there'll be a practice or a way that you can find your journey into what's underneath that feeling, and then we can sit with the feeling. And the feeling for me, or as usual, because I have, as we all will have, a wounded part of ourselves that continues to play and raise her head and go, oh, I'm here, and as much as you really don't necessarily want to see that part of yourself or have that part of yourself shouting loudly, which mine was this morning, it's an opportunity to go, okay, hello, all right, so you're back, all right, so let's, and I hear you, because you're calling to be held, you're calling to be loved, you're calling to be met, you're calling to be loved, actually, as well. And it's so easy to love all the nice bits of ourselves, and when we get into those places where we feel that pain, it's so much harder to kind of really get inside and love that part too. And I think it's just such an important part of the collective journey. And if you go back to where I started, a few minutes ago, I was saying, what happens when we feel hurt, or when we feel somebody's let us down, or when we feel that we've been slighted in any way, or we've been rejected in whatever way, or whatever it is, whatever experience you're having, and how when you can really identify the experience of the emotion, work with the emotion through your physical body and your energetic body, and then you can start to come underneath and meet with softness, tenderness, kindness, because actually that's what we all need more than anything. It's just that space where we can hold ourselves and be with ourselves with tenderness, with kindness, with understanding. It's all right. I feel you hurting. I hear you hurting. It's okay. And the more that we can kind of nourish and hold with absolute tenderness, absolute care, absolute love, that part of us, in the same way that you would with your friend, and the same way you would with a child, that was hurting, you just go, oh, how can I help you, So we can do that for ourselves. And that's the journey, that's one of the parts of the journey to self-love. So come and work with me if you need to. It's, I can help you on this journey. I live it daily. It's part of my day-to-day existence. Some days I wake up, like yesterday I had an extremely joyful day. Today I woke up with so much angst and so much rage in me. You never know what's going to happen. I didn't go to bed with it, but I did wake up with it. It did come in my dreams a little bit actually, but you never know where it's going to be. And the rest of my day, I'm planning on joy because I've worked with the feelings, I've held my child, I've shouted out my rage, and now I can sit and I can be and I can relax into that part of me that goes, okay, let's be here, let's go and have some fun. So let's go and live my life. Let's go and embrace every moment, because that's really what we're here to do at some level. But that has to come from that kind of, it can't come from, I'm going to button up everything and pretend everything's all right and just, blah, 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 because the inside doesn't work. The inside hasn't been met, so it's a disconnected piece. We can't compartmentalize our lives. It doesn't work like that. I know some people have that capacity, but I don't. I can't compartmentalize my life like that. But for those that do, they're just shutting away boxes, and those boxes are going to fester. And when they fester, I wonder what's in there that's actually not terribly nice, that's going to come up again and again and again until that inner piece of us that's wounded and hurting is just met with tenderness and love, because it's going to just revisit you and revisit you until you go, okay, now I'm going to listen. Now I'm going to listen. So when we listen, it's amazing. It's actually amazing. And it just gives you such a sense of freedom, such a sense of joy, such a sense of love. And it allows us to go and have fun. So the journey is yours.